It's about 11:15 in the morning. I've been here since 7:53 a.m. at the train station in Stockholm because my train left at 7:53 a.m. on the dot, and I came down to the track as it was rolling away. So now I'm waiting for the next available train that can take my bike, which is at 2:41 p.m. And I've just been pretty much standing here waiting, which it kind of sucks. I did cry a little bit. Only about 30 minutes ago did I really come to terms that I missed my train, my first train on the leg of this journey, since staying in Stockholm the last month and a half was really just me relaxing and just organizing everything. So this train that is taking me to Gothenburg was my first, I guess, official leg of my journey, my European travels, and I messed it up, which isn't really surprising for me because I'm not very good at getting on time for trains or buses or planes. I've had a lot of close calls. One time in Paris, I had to run to the train. The train was slowly rolling away and I was running at full speed. Thankfully, they kept the doors open and they pulled me in. But fortunately for me, or I guess maybe unfortunately, I have the habit of making a big mistake in the beginning of something and then never making that mistake ever again. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen this time. It's 1:30. I have about an hour and a half left for my train. I've moved around a little bit on the tracks, but still just waiting. Although something nice did happen to me actually. A little after I missed my train, a lady came up to me asking about her train, and we ended up talking for about 30 minutes. Turns out she just moved back to Sweden from living in California for 54 years. And after I told her what happened to me and how long I would have to wait without any food being on my next train, she actually gave me her sandwich. She's already been traveling for 25 hours, but she gave me her sandwich because she was nice, and I'm really thankful for that. It's almost 2 o'clock and my train is finally on the departure board. That's the track I initially went to for my first train early this morning, since their website said the FlixTrain usually arrives on track 12, so I didn't bother checking the departure board. If I had, I would have probably made the train before it left, on track 16. But anyway, the lesson here is to always check the departure board and to arrive early. So now I just have to bring my bike to track 12, which is kind of hard, at least in this train station, because the elevators are pretty small and it's not very comfortable. But now I'm on track 12 and I have to try to get myself and the bike out of this elevator. But I'm finally here and the train doesn't come for maybe 10 more minutes, so I'm definitely not missing this train. So the train that I'm taking, the FlixTrain, is a subsidiary of the German Flixbus, which you can ride for pretty cheap if you book far in advance. They also have the buses in a couple places in the US, but I'd like to compare it to the Megabus, which has a similar system. FlixTrains, however, they only operate in Germany and then on this one line here in Sweden, from Stockholm to Gothenburg. I actually didn't realize this was the only line outside of Germany when I was booking it, but I'm grateful because this train has bike spaces. Coming to Sweden, I thought it would be simple to take my bike on trains and ride around the country, but it's definitely not. The main train operator here in Sweden, SJ, no longer takes bikes, which aren't foldable or in bike bags. So you really have to go find a bike spot in whatever train takes bikes, which also isn't all of them. And at least in Sweden, there are way too many train operators, and most just operate in certain regions. So if you're unfamiliar with the different trains' bike rules and the regions in Sweden, traveling with your bike around Sweden is super frustrating and stressful. So that's why I'm glad FlixTrain can take me halfway out of Sweden at least. So on that point, I don't see Sweden as very bike friendly. Of course, this may be the same in other European countries, but I'll get to experience that later on. This train ride took 5 hours, and not knowing what to expect with this budget train operator, I was pleasantly surprised. I was bumped up to coach 1, but I don't think there's a difference with the other coaches, but I'm not completely sure. It was much more spacious than normal trains, and it was super clean. The only downside was that there wasn't any AC. I think it was broken, at least that's what they told us, but with some windows down, it wasn't hot at all. For bikes, I only noticed coach 3 with the bike sign on the outside, and there were 2 bike spots. Since this is the first time taking a train with my bike, I was overly cautious and took everything off my bike and stuck it in a torn garbage bag. But I actually don't think that's necessary, at least in this train. It's easy to pop in to check on the bike as well if you want to. But all in all, I would definitely take the FlixTrain again with my bike. It's pretty cheap if you book in advance. It's very clean and the bike racks are very good. So I definitely recommend this train if you're in Germany or need to get from Stockholm to Gothenburg or vice versa. Anyway, like I said, I'm taking this train to Gothenburg, but my destination for tonight is Malmö. So to get to Malmö with my bike, I first am taking the FlixTrain to Gothenburg, and then another type of train further down to Malmö, where tomorrow I'll be taking a train across to Copenhagen, Denmark, on the Öresund Bridge. But that's not where this journey ends, but I'll tell you more once I'm there, eventually. Now that we are arriving in Gothenburg, I have to get my bike ready to get off the train. It's a good idea, I think at least, to get to the bike about 5 minutes before the train arrives at the station, so that you have time to unlock it and fix whatever you need to fix on your bike, and also be the first one off the train. But I really do not recommend carrying all of your bike bags in a torn garbage bag. It's super annoying. Anyway, once I get off the train, I just have to wait for my next train to Malmö, and I can finally call it a day. But it's pretty late, and I will show you the rest of my journey in the next few videos. I really hope you'll stay to watch those. But for now, thank you for watching this one, and please subscribe, and I'll see you later.